up, y'all? Are we live yet? We are. We're live. Hello. Welcome, one and all, to Tea Time with Jacksepticeye.
And now, Tea Time with Jacksepticeye.
I know, it's super late for a lot of people. Currently 1:20 a.m. for me. But I was in the mood to stream. I was in the mood to do a little FaceTime. Because I'm trying out new software as well, so it's also an excuse to do that. But hey! How's it going, bros? My name is Pie. It's not really. Sorry, disappointing everybody. But this is nice. This is tasty. Because I usually use OBS, just regular OBS, but now I'm using OBS Studio, which Robin told me to get up and start using. Which I think is nice. I think it's good. Hello. Everyone's saying things to me. Hello. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out different versions of the software and trying to figure out the best settings, and I think I just need to update my computer. Because if any of you were at the Overwatch stream last night... Last night? Was it last night? Or the night before? I can't remember. If any of you were at the Overwatch one, I was having some serious issues when it came to lag. So... I'm trying to figure out better ways of doing this and smarter ways of doing it, so... Are you drunk? No, I'm not. I'm drinking tea. I don't have time to be drunk. If I ever get drunk, I waste so much time. There's so much time when I don't know what's going on, and I'm just sitting here giggling. Or if I get that drunk, I don't know, can't remember what's happening. So no, I'm not drunk. I don't have time to be drunk. I've other shit to be doing. I'm gonna tweet out about this. So I need a sick tweet. Like, the sickest of tweets. If anyone can actually think of one. Anything? Tea time with Jack? That would work. I mean, I did call it tea time. Get drunk. No! What type of tea? Just regular old Lions Gold Blend. It's just black tea with milk in it. Kind of like Earl Grey tea. Super late chill tea time stream. This isn't going to go on too long either. It's going to be like an hour. Well, I say that all the time and then I change my mind and end up going way longer than I'm supposed to. But it's super late here. It's almost 1:30 a.m. And sleep does have to happen, surprisingly. Fuck your girlfriend. Really? That's like, you had your one shot to be in chat. You sat there on your computer and you were like, oh, what should I type? I know. This'll get him. This'll get everyone. That's the mark you want to leave on the world. Fuck your girlfriend. There's better ways to be spending your time and your energy and your words. Why is the thumbnail Overwatch? Yeah, I forgot to change it. Oop. You can tell how much I stream. I'm typing this on my computer so I don't have any tea emojis. Is there a tea emoji on? Oh, holy fuck. There's a hot beverage and there's a teacup without a handle. Hell yeah, I'm putting in this one. Fucking tea. It's time to teabag. There we go. I should have just put in like a saxophone or something for the jazz that's going on. Sick. I love how when I tweet it out, it still has the same stuff from ages ago. The tweet, you can see right now, it has an Overwatch thumbnail and it says tea time, right? Hodgepodge of shite. But when I tweeted it out, it said Happy Easter and it had the old thumbnail. Like, even when I change stuff, it doesn't change. So if you're on Twitter right now, Happy Easter, I guess. Mazel tov, tea time. It's 4:30 in the fucking morning. I just saw arse fly by in the chat. Who's saying arse? But a happy Saturday. How's you guys' day going? I just got back from the cinema. Well, a couple of hours ago. Me and the Whoosh went to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And it was good. Not as good as the first one. And not like an amazing movie or anything. But it was very good. Popcorn movie. Where you could just sit down and turn off your brain and just enjoy some nice, fun action and jokes. And funny characters. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Aha! Aha! So that was fun. Other than that, and then we played Overwatch. We just kicked some ass in Overwatch. I'm not playing Overwatch right now in this stream, like at all. I'm reading you, chat. Hi, how's it going? Are you going to do another bro average video? No. I'm gonna leave that just as the one thing. That was just like a little spoof parody of like the Dude Perfect trick shot type of videos. So I'm not gonna do any more of them personally. I'm gonna leave it there. Cause I mean, what else could I do? Only repeat the same kinds of jokes. So I'm not gonna do that. God, why does OBS use? Because I have an older CPU in this computer, one that's not really perfect for streaming and encoding and all that kind of stuff. So, when I have, like, Chrome and stuff open at the same time, kind of fucks it up. It says that I'm using 47% of my CPU. Why? You're not even fucking doing anything that great. What? What are you telling me? Go away. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Didn't you already make a live stream of Overwatch, but it didn't upload or something? It uploaded regularly, like all the streams do. They archive to YouTube anyway. But I didn't upload it, or I didn't keep it up because it was a really shit stream. Because I couldn't play because I was getting like 14 FPS, 24 FPS, 30 FPS, like going up and down constantly, so I couldn't play. I just think it was really shit to watch, so I just took it down. Sorry. I'm gonna have to pop out chat or something. Because my whole computer's lagging. I badly need a new computer. Which I'm gonna do when I move. I'm gonna get a new computer and keep that. I'm gonna pop out chat and close the actual stream. Hopefully it stays running. Because the CPU I have in this computer is an i7 4770K. Which is still good. It's still good and it plays games really well, but my computer's just so bloated full of shit. I want to make a, like, purely dedicated gaming and streaming computer and leave all the kind of editing software and everything off of it. Because it's just not worth it. There we go. Now stuff's running. Boring. Well, I'm sorry. Stream is called Tea Time. I don't know what you're fucking expecting. Do you like Chinese food? I love Chinese food. I love all types of food. Go AMD Ryzen. That's a thing! For any of you who don't know, AMD brought out a new set of processors called the Ryzen processors, RYZEN, and they're supposed to be really good for, like, video encoding and streaming and different things like that. Applications outside of gaming, they're supposed to be really quick at. So I kind of want to build one just to see what it's like, to try it out. Maybe build like a dedicated streaming and gaming PC that way. And just test it out. I don't know. The benchmarks are looking really good for that. Still find it funny how people are still like, you're moving? I must have said it like 1 billion times by now. Like, not to say that you should know. It's just, it's funny how many times I've said it and it still like slips through the cracks for a lot of people. My tea's already gone. Tea time stream. I'm Irish. We love our tea. Oh god, it's moving fast. Check how you're reading these comments are going by so fast. Aha! I've got good eyes. Mark's streaming right now too. What's your game, boy? No game. I know those guys are streaming. I'm not trying to undercut them or anything. This is just like a spontaneous one-off, very quick little stream because I had nothing else to do. But yeah, those guys have been streaming all day as well. And they're doing a bang-up job. And I'm proud of them. So, I should actually say something about that because they're streaming for charity. They're streaming for the Environmental Defense Fund. So I feel like it's only right to like try and plug that as well and say that they're doing a really good thing over there. And if you have time and money that you have to spare that you can donate, then by all means donate. It really helps out. What type of microphone do you use? This one. A Neumann U87AI. If you're doing YouTube, do not buy this microphone. This is like a high-end studio microphone that would be wasted on just YouTube. I got it because I do stuff outside of YouTube that involves voice stuff. Which, something I had a part in voicing was Pinstripe. That game that just came out. That you can go check out. I don't have like a big role in it or anything, but there's 2 sections of me in the game that I want to sit down and stream that at some point as well. So we can sit down. I have a couple of lines in there. The guy who made the game, super nice guy, and I wish him all the best with the sales of that game. So if you like the game, I definitely recommend getting it. Because it's cool. And the guy, he just loves making games, and I can tell he has a lot of passion for it. And it was really nice talking to him, and he's super sweet, so every little helps. When do you think you'll play another team co-op with Bob? Soon, hopefully. I love my little sessions with Bob. They're super fun. We just can't really find many games to play together. It's hard. Oh yeah, the ending of Outlast went up today. Did y'all watch it? I know the last episode is like 2 hours long, so not a lot of people will have time today to probably watching it. So, but it was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that series, because I really enjoyed it. And the last episode I made super long, just for the sake of... Because I feel like when you get to the end of games like that, if you cut it off halfway through, like the finale, it kind of feels a little... Kind of feels like you're taking away the momentum, and I like to keep that going. Sean, do a lovely papyrus voice. What would you like me to say? I can say all manner of things. I just have to think about it with my brain. To get a good papyrus voice, well, the one I do, which is kind of the same one as Ross does, which is just Skeletor from He-Man, is to just talk from like here, close up your neck, and just talk like right in that section. I don't know how to explain it. That's how I do voices. Whenever I hear somebody do a voice, I hear it, and then I'm like, okay, what part of the neck is that using? And then I just mimic it. And if that's how you operate, it's like right in here. Like Scaramouche from Samurai Jack, the new season of Samurai Jack. Scaramouche! Oh! Jack, babe! I love that guy so much. And the other thing I do with the pirate's voice is to always roll your R's. Because he's always talking about getting recognition. It sucks as well, because I got much better at doing the voice after I finished the series. So if I went back to do it now, I'd be so much better at it, but game's over, bro. Can you do the Temmy voice? Hi, I'm Tim, and this is my friend Tim. That voice came about because that's the way I talk like that in real life. There was a phase I went through where I'd say stuff to Cena like that, just like, oh, I like it, oh. I still kind of do it, so when the character came up, it just seemed like the perfect character to do that voice for. How do you do accents? I don't know. How does anybody do any voices? You just kind of hear it. Some people can just hear them and do them. I'm kind of, I used to mimic things a lot when I was younger, and I'm by no means, like, great at them. But I used to mimic things a lot when I was younger, and then, I don't know, you kind of just get a knack for it. After you do it a lot, and after you try and do weird, shitty voices over and over again, you kind of figure out how to manipulate your voice pretty well for it. How to do the Rick and Morty voice. Oh, my Rick and Morty impressions are pretty shit. Well, my Morty is pretty good. Because that's just my fucking voice anyway. That's one thing I like about Justin Roiland, because I share a very similar vocal range with him, I think. We're both kind of higher pitched people, and all his voices end up in the higher range, like Lemon Grab and Blendin' Blandin'. A lot of his voices just sound the same. So I always kind of look up to his voices for stuff like that. He's just a weirdo. But for Morty, you just make your voice break. Rick, it's more than Meeseeks' voice, though. I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me! That voice you have to do, your voice has to go to do that, because Justin's voice went when he did that voice. She's still there, Beth. So your voice has to have that, where it's all gone. And then I can't do a Rick voice. Rick's voice is just, Morty, you gotta shove him way up in your ass, Morty. Nah. It's bad. Hey Jack, guess what? Dicks. Haha, that's funny as fuck. Right on, my dude. You got called out on Mark's stream. A lot of people just went over there and gave some money to it because you were saying stuff about it. The fans are awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Good job. It's always good to support charity in whatever way possible. And that's the thing. A lot of people think supporting charity is just donating. But a lot of the time, it's just saying something about it and spreading it to other people. And then the more people that hear about it, you get to... Like, it's like retweets on Twitter. It starts reaching more people that probably wouldn't have seen it naturally. And the more it spreads around, then the more people are made aware of it. And then the people who probably didn't know about it before, who do have money to spare, can end up donating because of what you say. So... every little bit helps, man. It's all good. And charity is a great cause. And that's something I wanted to kind of do when I move too. I'll get a really good PC. And I'll try and stream a bit more. And hopefully do some more charity stuff. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Turn slow mode off, please, Jack. Are you seeing the frickin' chat? Chat's all I'm reading right now, and it's insane. And I can't even keep up with it. And that's with slow mode at 240 seconds per comment. So if I turn that off, it's just going to be a shit show. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Jack, do the Flowey voice, please. Say this, you idiot Frisk. No one will love me, so why should you? Oh god, what was my Flowey voice? You idiot Frisk! No one will ever love you! Or love me, so why should you? It's kind of like the anti stuff. It's kind of like my version of what a Joker would be. I never watched Rick and Morty. Boy! Why? Rick and Morty's... well, I can get it if it's not their type of humor, because it's very specific type of thing. It's exactly my type of humor, and I love it so much. Hey Jack, what's this game called? Because the graphics are shit. This game's called Life. It's 475,000 over like 5 years. If you want to do college in the game, it costs a considerable amount more depending on where you're playing it from, what region you are. It's not region locked though. And it runs at 600 frames per second. But it also has permadeath in it, so it's not really for everybody. It also has crafting. And like a food mechanic. It's an alright game. Graphics are kind of shit. 'Cause the graphics are 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 shit. Jack, did you like Outlast 2? I did. Overall, I like the game, and I like the series, and I like how much we all got into it, and the story and all that kind of stuff. There are some points that really let me down and were disappointing and could have been done way better, but overall, I think it was a fun series to do. Just got a bit repetitive after a while, which is Outlast in a nutshell. There's most horror in a nutshell. Because I keep coming back to games like Amnesia. You can't really compare, because Amnesia came out at a time when nobody was doing AAA horror really anymore. So when that came out, that was like a big deal. And like the repetition in that, I can forgive it because of the time it came out. Not a lot of people were trying a lot of things. It didn't have a gargantuan budget. It wasn't a massive game. It just blew up because of the internet and because of YouTube and people like Felix who were doing the game and people like Mark who were doing the game. So I always like to compare stuff to like Alien Isolation. I consider Alien Isolation one of the best horror games to come out in a long time because of the pacing. The pacing is everything in a horror game. And that's why some of the like Silent Hills and everything were really good, because they were paced very well. And games these days are all about, they're all worried about losing the player's attention. So they shove shit in your face all the time. If you're not getting scared, they don't really have a story to back it up. And sometimes they're afraid that their story isn't going to carry the game, so they have no faith in it. And then they end up throwing scares at you constantly. So the pacing always ends up getting really messed up. But Alien Isolation did it really well because it set up a lot of stuff. And at the start, you can't really fight back and there's no alien around. It's kind of like synths that are walking around, synthetics. And you don't really know what's going on. And then the alien shows up and there's just one enemy, but it's super powerful, super unpredictable, and very, very strong and can kill you in one hit. But you can also hide, and you can't fight back at first. You just have to get your wits about you. And then later on, they were like, oh, well, you're probably getting bored of that now, just hiding from the aliens. So here's a flamethrower. So now it's a resource management kind of game. It's a resource management. It's a survival horror in that respect. So instead of having to hide, you could kind of fight back and you could like take the fight to the alien. It still showed up, it still scared you, and it was a different type of horror. So it evolved very well. It still should have ended like 2 hours earlier, but that game is just really well paced. And that's something that a lot of games seem to not understand. Outlast bothers me because the first one was fine when you couldn't fight back, because it was like, okay, whatever, you're trying this thing, and that was also a AAA horror game, and we hadn't seen one in a while by the time that came out, but now we've seen a lot of horror games. And they didn't really break new ground with anything. They kind of relied on some of the things they did in Outlast 1, and then brought it into Outlast 2, and it didn't really work as well. Like, the camera stuff is still cool, but it makes less sense in Outlast 2, I think. You are a cameraman, but at the end of the day, you have to think, like, wait, why am I recording this? Kind of thing. Well, it's still a fucking video game. Who cares? But just different things like that. And they relied too much on the same types of scares. And it was just chase after chase after chase after chase. And that got exhausting after a while. But it sounds like I'm shitting all over the game. I still love the setting and the style and the atmosphere and the sound design and things like that. I just like when things are paced well when it comes to movies or games. I'm very big on things like that. It did kind of make me want to go back and play the first Outlast again, because a lot of stuff has come out for the first Outlast since, like comics and everything, divulging more in the story and the characters that were in it, because there's a lot of stuff in it that I did not get. And then reading up on the wikis today was like, oh, when did they say this? And then Cena told me that they said it in comics that I didn't know. I'm still reading chat, by the way. I'm just scrolling through it. It's very, very fast. Which is very sweet. Thank you all for being here. I can't even see how many people are here right now because I have the chat popped out. Whoops. My bad. How many people are here? Because... I can hear myself. I can see... 17,000! Holy shit. Thanks, guys! That's super sweet. You guys the best.
Where are my testicles, Summer? Where are my testicles?
Solid reference. Would you play an Outlast 2 DLC if it came out tomorrow? Sure. It's not going to, but sure. Okay, I'm trying to stop the chat and go back up and see some things. I'm playing Dark Souls 3. Solid choice. Dark Souls 1 was better and Bloodborne's better, but Dark Souls 3 is still pretty fucking good. It's like... the Dark Souls games, it's like Dark Souls 2 and 3 I didn't like as much, but at the same time, I'd still rather play them than 80% of other video games. Just because I love those games so much. What's your thoughts on Daddy 05? I mean, what's there to say? People abusing their kids for views and not really seeing the harm that it could do long term. It's super fucked up. I'm not a fan at all. And then, like, they came out and said, oh, it was all acting and everything. And even though I don't think it's acting, because I can spot fakery a fucking mile away. It's one of the reasons I told you guys before, I'm a good judge of character. Like, when I watch movies, I get super focused in on acting and I involve myself in performances and how people behave and everything. I can tell fakery a mile away. Like, any prank video I watch, I'm like, do people really believe that actually happened? And people aren't just reacting like a human being would? So even if the kids were acting, which they're not, it's still fucked up. It's like you're still promoting this really awful side of your family and the way you behave around your kids and everything. It's still, like, saying that it's acting was supposed to make it okay. Like, it was still terrible. What do you think of the world? Julian, I'm gonna tell you something. The world's a pretty fucked up place. The world has a lot of shit in it. A lot of crap going on in the world right now. And we live in a very weird time in history where so many countries are all at each other's throats and don't really know what's going on. But at the same time, the world is a freaking fantastic place to be. Like, as much shit as there is going on, there's a million more beautiful things in the world to see. And it's so easy to focus on the crap that's going on and forget about all the majesty and the beauty that's around us every day. The fact that I, like, get to sit down and talk to you guys, and the fact that you're here on the internet, being able to see a green-haired Irishman talk about the world right now is still a pretty spectacular thing to happen. It's just we forget about those things because it becomes everyday life. But the world needs some fixing. And we all need to be more open-minded towards each other and communicative towards each other. Not so closed off, not closing down these doors and closing down our windows and not talking to each other. Open up. Share ideas with people. If they don't agree with them, who cares? You still have your ideas. If you talk to somebody and they don't share the same ideas as you, that's perfectly fine. They don't need to. God knows the amount of people who don't agree with some of the things I say. And probably disagreeing with some of the things I say right now. Perfectly fine. The problem comes when people just say, fuck you, you're wrong, and then run away. Or punch you and walk away. Doo-doo-doo. Jack, can you make it so that we can donate? This is a big point of contention for me lately, because YouTube brought in this thing called Super Chat, where you can turn on and people can donate a certain amount of money and then their messages get highlighted in chat. I can't turn it on even if I wanted to because I live in Ireland and it's not available here. It's like America, UK, those are like the two countries I know. And it's weird because, like, I get it. I get why Super Chat was introduced, but it's also really easy to exploit. Because I could easily turn on Super Chat and people would just start donating to have their stuff pop up, and it's super generous, and like helping out your favorite creators is a very admirable and very respectable thing to do, but I feel like I'd be taking advantage of people because I don't know, it's a weird thing because I like, if a smaller YouTuber is struggling month to month on their YouTube salary and they really want to make YouTube work, and rent is becoming like a really increasingly scary thing to not be able to afford, especially with the ad stuff that's going on YouTube right now. I definitely get Super Chat, but I see a lot of like huge YouTubers turning on Super Chat and exploiting the system when really they don't need it. And like, if they want to do that, that's fine. That's their call. I don't really want to do it personally because I don't feel like I have to. And I don't feel like you guys have to donate to me because I'm not that badly off that I'm like month-on-month paycheck and I'm like struggling to do YouTube. I'm very, very lucky with the style of YouTube I get to do and where I am in YouTube and the position I'm in. And as I said, it's very nice that you guys want to support me and want to help out and help out your favorite creators. That's really cool. But I'd also be wary of it because you might have a lot of bigger YouTubers who are exploiting the system, getting like that extra buck when really they don't need it. I don't know. And I don't want to shit all over other YouTubers either. Like, as I said, people can do what they want. I don't have to agree with it, but if that's really what they want to do, then by all means. I also don't want to promote this attitude of elitism in the chat. Because if you donate, say if you donate $5, then your message gets highlighted. And I don't know if you get a certain amount of messages for that $5 or if it's timed because the super chat thing seems to count down when you do it. Like a little bubble shows up on your name on top of the chat. So I don't know how it works exactly because I haven't been able to turn it on. But say there's somebody out there in the community who has a lot of money to spare. And then all of a sudden they can donate a lot of money and their stuff gets highlighted a lot. So they get seen more than other people in the chat. And then because they have more money to spare to be able to be seen in the chat, then people who are less well off or don't have as much money to be able to put in the chat, who have really nice things to say and have a real proper message to say, they might not get heard as much because they don't have the money to donate to that kind of thing. To be able to be seen more than other people. So there's that real weird elitism, favoritism side of things that can happen with that sort of donation. And that's something that's very scary to me. Because I don't want that to happen. And I don't want YouTubers to go down the path of like sitting around and just like begging for money or asking for donations or only reading the donated messages. Because then it ruins that idea of like everyone's equal and everyone has a fair game on YouTube. Because that's the beauty of YouTube, is that anybody can do YouTube. I got very lucky in what I get to do on YouTube. I got a very lucky break when it came to stuff, and I worked my ass off to do it. But at the same time, there was a lot of luck involved. And like anybody can do that. Anybody can do what I did. Just sit down, be super dedicated, put a lot of hours into it, and hope that things happen for you. And that's a really beautiful thing on YouTube. And I don't want to see it turn into like a money thing, like a pay to win type of thing almost. That's not a very good analogy, but you know what I mean. You get what I mean. I don't know. I have a lot to talk about on the topic, and I'd rather have somebody else here kind of having like a discussion about it. Almost like a debate of sorts and different opinions and everything. Because there might be some aspects to it that I'm not thinking about. It is really cool for a charity type of thing. Like if I wanted to do a charity and I just opened up Super Chat to donate to that, then it might be a cool idea. Then again, that's also a bit sketchy because then the money comes to me and then I have to bring it on to the charity, and I don't really want that. I'd rather have no money come into my hands. I'd rather an actual charitable organization manage the money because it's safer, and I know that, well, it's just more transparent on my end, I think. Because if the money came to me and then I said, oh, the Super Chat made this amount of money, and not that I'd ever lie about those types of things, but it's always good to be wary of people. Especially when money's involved, because a lot of people change when money happens. I don't know. Oh, Luzu's here. Hi, Luzu! Everyone say hi. Or Luzu. I'm sorry, my Spanish is terrible. That and the fact that it doesn't exist. Cena said chat is nice. Holy shit, chat is spammed. I know, man. I'm really hoping for the day when YouTube get better chat implementation. They'll get there. It just takes a long time. We might have to do Twitch at some point, but I just like that I can go on. I don't have to spam out that I'm streaming. I can just go on and like live stream on YouTube, and because you're all here already, because I do YouTube anyway and the main audience is here, once I just start streaming, everyone's here. And that's great. I like that. A lot of YouTubers are in YouTube for the money, but everyone should know that you, Jack, are in it for the fun and your fans not for the money. Thank you. I'm glad at least that still comes across. I'm always worried about that. Because I see so many other people do things, and I'm like, so many other YouTubers do things, and I'm like, oh, that looks really bad, because it looks like you're promoting this, that, and the other for money. And I don't know, I probably overcompensate in the opposite direction myself. Because I'm even afraid to, like, promote some stuff that go into the merch stores. Because I'm worried that people will think that I'm in it for the money. Or I'm almost afraid to promote anything that I do in case people think I want more views or more subs. Because as much as you can see the character that I am, and I'm glad that you can see that I'm not in it for that, but there's a lot of people out there who just have this stigma against larger YouTubers. And as soon as I do anything like that, if they don't know me, then it looks like I'm doing that kind of thing. So I'd rather just avoid that completely, because at this point in where I am on YouTube, like, it'd be so easy to just turn on Super Chat, if I had it, and, like, make bank. And tell people to buy all my merch, and to do this, that, and the other, and make a book about nothing, and do a YouTube Red show that's not about anything. Like, these different types of things, and I could, like, promote the channel so much more and bring it so much further. But it's such hollow, it's such hollow progress. I like doing things that mean something to me. And that's why I'm trying, like, the tour thing that I'm trying to get done. I'm trying to make sure it's something that I'm actually proud of, and something that's, like, a really great, unique experience for people. And not just banking on the name Jacksepticeye and going out there and saying hi, or just talking and saying catchphrases like booper duper and speed is key and just making bank off the name. I don't know, that's not the way I want to do things. But it's also a hard position to be in, because it's hard to talk about that, and it's hard to say my feelings on these things without sounding like I'm trying to shit all over other YouTubers. Because I'm always talking about building each other up instead of tearing each other down. And I don't want to make it seem like think that I'm better than people. Because that's not the case. It's just some things that are a bit shady that I think need to bring people's attention to, so people are aware and people are not just blindsided and don't have the wool pulled over their eyes and manipulated by someone just because they like them. Because it's really nice that you guys like me, and that you're here all the time and you respect me and you like what I do, but I'd never want you to just go along with things just because it's me. Like, you should always be wary, and if I do something wrong, to call me on it and never just go along with it because it's Jacksepticeye, I like him as a YouTuber. If I do fucked up things as a person, you're allowed to tell me that I'm doing that. Anyway, let's get back to other things. I kind of went off on a tangent there for a little while. Let's just sit down with some
Smooth jazz. Oh, yeah. Sean Sensual Steen here. Here to tell you that boom bop zippity pow, baby.
I don't fucking know. Trying to make sure I'm not clipping the mic. Am I okay? I guess I could just turn it down here. Yeah, that's okay. Somebody said it's over. It's finally over. The spam has stopped. Nah, dude. It never stops. Sup, Jack? Nice voice. Thanks, bruh. What do I always look like this. Even in day-to-day life, I go around like this. I look like I'm scowling all the time. I need to open... Maybe that's why my eyebrows are huge. Because they're getting worked out all the time, so the follicles are just super productive. I remember when I was younger and I had to go to a nurse because I had asthma when I was younger. And I had to go for a checkup to see if my lung capacity was improving. If any of you have had asthma or had to do like a breath test where you get the giant, like, it looks like a giant recorder that you just have to go into. And it's not like a... it's like a full open mouth, like... And a little meter goes up to see how strong your lung capacity has gotten. And I had to go to do that, and she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like 8 at the time. She said, "You always look angry." My mother's like, "He always looks like that." Can you do your May voice? Sure, no problem. What do you want me to say? I mean, I really like a taco. Tacos are the best! Tacos. Oh, my throat dried up. I should probably go get myself a little water. Your deep voice is so hot. That's not even my deep voice. That's like the... Hi. My deep voice would be...
Hey, how's it going? Sean Sensual Steen here.
So that's the overdone, like...
Raper here.
Kind of thing. I need to get myself an effects rack so I can just turn on, like, chorus and reverb and everything. So I could just click a button and then be like...
Death walks among you.
It's fun. It's my favorite Overwatch voice to do. Do your Greg voice, dude! Yeah, hell yeah! Everybody should do a Greg voice because it fills you full of energy! Oh, oh, I love him! What are your personal experiences with mental health issues? That's a very good question. Because the thing about mental health is that a lot of times stuff goes overlooked. Because people feel a certain way and then it's like, oh, well, I'm just feeling down today. Or they'll react to certain things certain ways consistently and they think it's just part of their personality or their character. But it could definitely be something like mental health related that needs to be looked at and helped with. So, like, there's probably a lot of stuff that I've gone through myself, or stuff that I've seen, or people who have gone through stuff that I didn't even realize were mental health issues. Some people in my family have gone through some stuff. Nothing crazy, but like stuff with bipolar and depression and things like that, and some memory stuff. I don't have like huge experience with that kind of stuff. So, and that's why I'm always wary about talking about it as well, because I'd rather know more about it than just saying like, hey, go out there and do better. Yeah, if you smile, all your problems will go away. Yeah, be brave. Kind of stuff. And that's nice. It's nice to want to instill confidence in people. But I'd also like to be realistic and talk about stuff in a more productive way, instead of just giving you hollow advice like, go out there and do the thing. I don't know. Even though sometimes I do that anyway. And a lot of times it's for my own benefit to like boost myself and boost other people as a byproduct of that. I know, if you're trying to instill confidence in other people, and if you're trying to motivate other people and make them feel happier in any way, shape, or form, I don't want to belittle that, because that's an admirable thing to do. Jacksepticeye is a fucking N-word. Really, dude? Well, now this is happening. Bye. Sorry, chat. I don't deal with nonsense. I really should sit down and like get some mods together. But it's really hard to get some mods that like I trust and who are willing to be able to like put time in every day. You'd need like a whole group of moderators to do things. Just to delete the shit like that. And spam is kind of back on YouTube lately, and it's really hard to get rid of, because no matter what I blacklist, it still fucking shows up. Sean, would you voice yourself in a fighting game? I would love to. That'd be super cool. Because you get to do all the like, ha, ha, yeah! And then all the like, ha, 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 getting hit in the face. That'd be fucking awesome. Why do people come on here to spread hate? I don't understand why anybody goes on the internet to spread hate. Well, I mean, I guess I get it. But at the same time, some of it is just like nonsense that they don't even mean. They're just here for attention, I guess. It's just funny when you like think about the person in that position posting those messages at that time. Like, why? It's like, haha, this'll get him. It's just, the more you think about it, the more ridiculous it actually gets. Can you do an impression of an American trying to sound like you? Oh, this is a good one. Solitary Sapphire. This is a very good one. Because so many people do impressions of me on YouTube, like other YouTubers and everything, and then I have people coming to me saying, you should hear this person's impression, it's so good. And then I listen to it, I'm like, this is terrible. I don't sound like that. Because what it usually comes to is them doing a high-pitched Irish accent. And people just hear the Irish accent like, oh my god, that sounds like Jacksepticeye. It's like, top of the morning to you, my name's Jacksepticeye, how's it going? It's like, I don't sound like that. Because I don't even have that strong an Irish accent anymore. So when people do an impression of me, it's like, top of the morning to you, laddie, my name is Jacksepticeye. They usually try and get the energy behind it and sort of the pitch. But they never get it just right. So it's kind of funny. I love listening to them though. The fact that anyone wants to do an impression of me is super flattering because I'm always trying to do impressions of other people. So to have them done of me is super cool. Jack, watch Tyler Joseph's line speech. It's 5 years old, but it preaches being kind online in a hella good way. I like your use of hella. Isn't Tyler Joseph one of the guys from 21 Pilots? I could be in big doo-doo bees if I'm wrong about that. If Google would like to work for me, Tyler Joseph. Yeah, he's the singer. I imagined. I will definitely do that. I've been on a kind of kick lately listening to stuff like that. Because after Kendrick Lamar's new album came out, fantastic album, kind of listening to some of the messages in that and listening to like the story behind it and just his mental state and what he's saying about different things. It's really fascinating. And then watching interviews with him, and then I started watching interviews with other people. I don't know. I love watching interviews with people who've gone through some shit and then came out the other side. Because, like, I've gone through some things in my life, but not half as much as some other people out there. So it's nice to be able to listen and hear their stories and watch them, like, overcome that type of thing and then instill confidence and motivation in other people. Super cool. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You're the most down-to-earth person, Jack. Thank you. I don't know if that's true, but I appreciate it. I try to be anyway. Try not to let the whole YouTube thing whisk me away too far. Because it's very easy to get lost in it. It's a very big industry, because technically it's show business. And it's a very big industry full of people who want to tell you things that they think you want to hear. And just say yes to you all the time and throw money at you all the time. Especially if you get to a certain point in it. Like, you have some, like, mobile developers who will just throw money upon money upon money at you to show off their game. And it's like, it's so easy to just take that stuff and go with it and just go, like, disappear and forget about your audience and just do things for yourself. So, I'm glad that I got to a point in YouTube where I kind of, like, went against that, because it's weird as well, because people are like, well, just don't do that. And I was like that for a while as well, but it's very easy for it to just happen, and then all of a sudden you're in it and you forget where you were and forget everything that you stood for. So I really don't want that to happen, so that's why these are fun. New Gorillaz album? I bought it for Cena yesterday when it came out, because she's a big Gorillaz fan. I like Gorillaz, but I wouldn't be a huge fan of them. I don't like listen to their music all the time, and I don't know that much about them. But we were listening to the new album today when we were just downstairs, and I can't really get into it. Some songs are nice. I like Saturn Bars, and there was another one. Can't remember the name of it. Did it begin with an M? That was really cool. And some bits of other songs are really cool, but as a whole, I just didn't really jam along to it. What do you guys think of it? Any of you, those of you who are like big Gorillaz fans who have listened to it? Because I'm curious to see what big Gorillaz fans think of it. Can you play more Overwatch? I do intend on playing more Overwatch eventually. Not tonight. I won't be doing it on this stream. But I do want to play more Overwatch soon, so I'm going to figure out OBS and figure out the best ways of making sure that I don't get any lag when I play it next time. Because when I play Overwatch, because I'm so used to playing Overwatch here at 144 Hertz, 144 FPS, with no lag whatsoever. And even then, sometimes like my aim is a bit off, so if anything drops like that after playing it for so long, then for so long at that high a frame rate, then it's kind of hard to play it on anything else. Can you do a backflip? Not on ground. I can do one on a trampoline. Or at least I could the last time I was on a trampoline. They're actually pretty easy to do on trampolines, but on the ground I can't. I used to be able to do front flips. But that was when I was much younger and much smaller and much more spry. Jack, have you ever thought about being a therapist? Your videos are so funny and therapeutic. That's nice. But I did want to... Well, I didn't want to be one, but I did think about becoming a therapist or a psychiatrist or something a while ago. Again, because I said that I love human behavior and I love understanding it and figuring it out, and But I don't know. I'm not nearly qualified enough to be that kind of thing. Because I can say a lot of stuff, and I know a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, a lot of it should be taken with a grain of salt, because, like, my word is not gospel. How long will your stream be? I don't know. I'm streaming for about 50 minutes so far. That's been fun. I don't really want to stop anytime soon. I like this. How do you spot these chat posts, Jack? Well, they fly by, and then I scroll up, which stops the chat, and then there's a blue bar or blue button that shows up to go to the bottom of the chat. So I kind of just scroll back up and take a few things here and there that I see. Do your germ voice. Hey guys, I'm Germ. Yeah, I had it in my house. I have this game at home. My germ voice isn't. It had nothing got to do with, like, the tone of the voice. It was just the speed of the voice. It was kind of just my voice. But speaking things very quickly. Because I just like the idea of him being a bird, like, chirping all his things, like, yep, 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 yep. I love Gorillaz. Saturn Bars is one of my favorite songs from them. That's pretty cool. Wait, is it one of your favorites because it's new? And you haven't had Gorillaz in a while? And it's the honeymoon period? Or... is it because you actually really think it's a really good Gorillaz song? Because my favorite Gorillaz song is either... it's either Feel Good Inc. or Clint Eastwood, I think. Is it Clint Eastwood that I'm thinking of? Very good question. This will show you how much Gorillaz I actually fucking know. Yeah, Clint Eastwood, the one with the monkeys in the... or the gorillas in the music video. Jack, what is the adpocalypse? I never understood what it was. P.S. I'm late to the stream, so sorry if you already answered that. I didn't, Jake. But welcome to the stream. Better late than never. Thank you for showing up. The adpocalypse thing on YouTube is... well, again, I'm not hugely versed in it, but what I understand it to be is that YouTube, or brands on YouTube, people who put ads on YouTube, like companies, just any companies that you've seen ads for on YouTube, suddenly started seeing their ads on stuff that had like the N-word in it, or that like the song was Alabama N-word or something. I can't remember what it started it off. And the Wall Street Journal went off and showed this around, and some companies then pulled out of YouTube, realizing that their ads could have been shown on potentially harmful stuff. And then a bunch of companies pulled out of YouTube, and YouTube lost like $750 million, I think. Which to YouTube is like nothing, but it's still a serious dent at the end of the day. And that's like, it's enough to them, financially, it probably didn't mean a whole lot, but for headlines, that's a pretty big number to have. And then more people started pulling out, and then ad rates dropped for a bunch of YouTubers. There's a lot more politics behind the scenes about all this. I'm just giving a brief rundown for like what it means for like the YouTuber's point of view. And then YouTube, in retaliation to this, as a response, started clamping down very heavily on content that had any sort of controversial topics in them, any sort of like triggering things in the titles, any sort of triggering things in the thumbnails, triggering topics, violence, gore, those types of things. Anything got to do with politics that kind of went a bit too far, that was very controversial, which they probably shouldn't have. Actually, not probably shouldn't have. They shouldn't have, because they're overcorrecting for a problem, which everyone's kind of freaking out about it now, but I think it'll probably bounce back eventually. So a lot of YouTubers' revenue just got completely cut off. Me, personally, I wasn't affected that much. There was a slight drop, but nothing alarming and nothing scary, because my content is video game related, and it didn't really bring up any of the topics that people were talking about. But other YouTubers who were doing slightly more controversial or edgier topics or videos have seen their revenue cut by half, or even as much as 80%. Some people had their videos go up and then be demonetized immediately. So it's very scary in that regard, and that's why you'll see a lot of people saying they're going to Twitch now and going, and in that regard, turning on Super Chat is a cool idea, because some people are losing like huge amounts of revenue, and for smaller YouTubers, that's very scary, because if you're living paycheck to paycheck and all of a sudden your revenue is gone, then you need to kind of recoup somewhere else, like Patreon or something. But a lot of YouTubers are using this as an excuse to get more money, when really, because this is the thing, if your revenue drops a lot, but you're still making enough to get by, then that's a different story than if your revenue drops a lot, or your revenue drops completely and you're making no money. There's a very different thing going on. And some people whose revenue is dropping by like a lot, and then they're kind of freaking out, and then they're kind of freaking out in that regard and doing different things. I don't know. It's a really weird thing to talk about. And I don't have much first-hand experience with it, and I don't really know the full ins and outs of it. But that's kind of a very quick, brief rundown of what's going on. I encourage you to look up more about it if it interests you. But hopefully it'll bounce back. I have a feeling it'll bounce back, because it's like something happens, something controversial happens, news outlets go to brands pull out of YouTube sees the problem, overcorrects, and then I think brands and YouTube are on opposite ends of the spectrum, and everything will kind of blend back together in the middle. We'll find a middle ground for it all, and it might not go back to just as good as it was, but I think we'll reach a nice compromise eventually. Because YouTube should always be about making fun stuff, making stuff that you want to make, and getting your stuff out there to people, and not really having to worry about YouTube getting in the way of that. You should be able to upload your stuff within reason. Obviously, you can't upload a video of you killing someone or you yelling racist remarks. Like, at the end of the day, they need to have some sort of safeguard, and YouTube has that safeguard already. It's just sometimes it doesn't always fire off the way it should. I don't know. That's why YouTube, there isn't as many ads as before. Before, there used to be ads in half a video, but watching lately, I don't see many ads anymore. Well, mid-ads are stuff that YouTubers themselves put in. If you ever see an ad in the middle of a video, it's put in by the YouTuber. So, if you're not seeing as many of those, it might be because they're just not putting in as many. I don't know. I don't know. YouTubers on at the same time, I don't know. I love YouTube and I love YouTubers, but man, nothing pisses me off more than YouTubers sometimes. Because when things like this happen, a lot of them get very entitled. And suddenly they're like, oh my god, why is this happening? And sure, we should know. YouTube really should tell us about these things. And YouTube should really come out and say, hey, this is going on. Be prepared if your revenue drops. Because that sucks. YouTube telling us nothing really, really sucks. And I think that they really need to communicate better with their platform and with the people who use their platform. No, I forgot what I was going to say. My bad. I lose my trail of thought very quickly lately. Kinda sucks. They can all be solved with a fucking Pepsi, man. An ice cold Beepus. Are you doing more Rick and Morty vids? I don't know. I didn't see anything else in the game that was worth really doing a video on. Because there was nothing else really left in the game to do. So I might not go back to it. Fuck you, asshole. Thanks, Logan. Appreciate it, buddy. Love the support. It's great. Can you purr into the microphone? Okay. Let me pause the music for a second and turn up this.
Now we're super loud.
Is that showing up? That's also my Predator impression. It's like using your uvula at the back of your neck to like shake against your neck. You should do a shout out contest like PewDiePie did. I have talked about this before and I said I wasn't going to do one because I felt like I needed the right time to do it. And I didn't think a shout out from me would go very far. But if YouTube like continues in the trend that it's going and stuff really is that hard to become a YouTuber these days, because it like right now it is harder than ever. Which kind of sucks. Well, it's harder and it's better at the same time. It's harder to make a living off YouTube, but YouTuber also have stuff in place now to get more subscribers quicker than when I started or other people started, because now some stuff that goes to the trending page, I've seen people with like 100 subscribers on the trending page in Ireland, which is really cool. So in some ways there's better potential than ever for people to make it on YouTube. But if revenue is lower than ever as well, then it's harder for people to make it their job. So if stuff went like that, then I'd consider doing it. Just to give people a bit of a boost. People who are really into YouTube. Because that's what I want to do. I want to find the people who are really into it. And not people who watch me, Mark, or Felix, or Casey Neistat, or somebody else do YouTube and then are like, oh, I want to do that because it's just on a whim. I'd rather people who are super into it, who really have a passion for it, and who really have something to share. Because I feel like they're the people who would definitely take advantage of that. Because when I got the shout out from Felix, I could have easily have just gone nowhere with that. There's so many people who were in that shout out that went nowhere. And I took that shout out and I took that opportunity and I went for it. I took what I had, and I think the channel still would have got somewhere without that. But that was definitely a really great kick. And not only a kick for the channel, but a kick for me. It lit a fire underneath me, and I really took hold of that opportunity and went full force at it, and I worked my damn ass off on YouTube. And that's the thing, you really have to work at it. We didn't just start YouTube and put in like a couple hours a day, and then all of a sudden we made it big. Like, we really worked our ass off. These days, we're very lucky that we can upload stuff and people will watch it anyway because we've cultivated that audience and a community. But when we started off doing this, like anyone who's made it big on YouTube, I don't know anybody personally who hasn't put in a shit ton of effort. Like talking to Mark and Felix about it, and like Wade and Bob and all these other YouTubers who I'm friends with. Like, we really put our work in to do this. Sometimes it doesn't look like we do because we make it seamless. We make it seem like stuff just keeps coming out constantly, and that's the way it should be. I think that's what a professional should do. Is that you get the content without any of the mess, which is what I always try to do. I try to be consistent. I try to keep the content coming, and so that nothing really gets in the way. So you still get your entertainment out of it. But I still put in a lot of work. And that's the thing. If you want to make it on YouTube, you got to put in the work. I used to do like 12-hour days on YouTube. And then there was times when I was doing college and YouTube at the same time. And I had no time for anything else. And I did that for like 3 years before I got an editor to help me, which today is the year anniversary of Robin working with me on the channel. And I tried to say with me every time and not for me, because he's been very collaborative and very, very helpful, and I fucking love that dude. So that's really cool. And because I used to just do YouTube constantly and have no time for anything else. I would wake up, do my thumbnails, do the tags, titles, everything, then upload the videos, and then I just go straight into recording after that, do the videos, eat, and then just go straight into editing and go to bed. And I would have no time for anything else. And I loved that, but after a while I started to realize that it was really stressing me out and getting inside my head, and it was starting to affect the way I did videos, because I started speeding up the recordings for no reason because I had to get the time to edit them, and I didn't like that. So Robin came on board and was such a huge help and helped me get my life back. And then I started going out with Cena, so it's nice to have time with her, and it's nice to have time to go to the movies like tonight, and it's nice to have time to just sit down and play Overwatch and play some games and have some sort of a social life outside of the channel. Don't get me wrong, I still have a huge drive for YouTube, but you know what I mean. If you do anything over and over and over again, it can become very monotonous. And you don't want to lose your passion for that thing, especially if it's something that you love. It's like if you love making wooden furniture, say, and that's like your absolute passion. After a while, you're going to get annoyed with that if it's every single day. And you don't want to get annoyed with it because you're getting annoyed with it for no reason. You're getting annoyed with it because you're doing it all the time, not because you're getting bad at it or because you lose your passion for it. Boo-doo-doo, boo-doo. Hey Jack, I know you probably missed this, but I just want to say thank you. I have a blood clot in my brain, and it's looking like I won't make the year. I spent my days dwelling, but then I found you. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's awful. I don't know what to say at the fear of sounding insensitive. I'm really sorry to hear that. If I can help in any sort of way possible at all by doing this or doing my videos, then that makes me happy that I can help. I hope. Keep on fighting. Stick in there. I'm not going to pretend to know what kind of situation you're in. But I definitely empathize with it. So I hope things go well for you. And I wish you nothing but happiness. Tell us about channel analytics. I don't really know what I could say. Because there's stuff I can't talk about. Like, I can't talk about the revenue that's made on the channel due to contracts and CPMs. And and I just wouldn't want to talk about that, because then everyone looks at you differently and treats you differently and talks differently. Because then there's some people out there who are like, oh, he makes more money than I thought. And then there's other people who's like, oh, he's not making as much as I thought. Like, you can't win in that type of situation. So it's just better not to talk about it. That, and it's just rude to ask anybody how much they make in their job anyway, regardless. But other analytics, I don't really know what else I can say. Oh, let's share a fun analytic. Let's see how many minutes people have watched the Jacksepticeye channel in total. The channel actually passed 7 billion views like a couple of days ago, which is fucking nuts. There's almost enough views per person on the planet now, which absolutely blows my mind, and I'm completely floored by. That's a very humbling figure. Thank you. But we can look at the watch time in minutes, because then it gives you the watch time in minutes in years. So I'll tell you how many years people have watched Jacksepticeye for since I started the channel. There's 58 billion minutes of the channel watched over all my videos, and that equates to 110,000 years. Fucking Jesus Christ. People have watched the equivalent of 110,000 years of Jacksepticeye. Oh my god. 7 billion views, and average view duration is 8 minutes. So those are things that I can share. 110,000 years. Mother of God. Fuck. Oh, seriously, thank you. The fact that any of that happened is crazy. Let alone that it's at that kind of figures is just fucking mind-boggling. I'm so lucky to be able to do what I do. And it's all because of the people who watch the channel, so thanks. I never want to lose sight of that. I never want to look at the numbers and go, yeah, I'm hot shit. Because, like those numbers, as much as YouTubers like to boast about their numbers, those numbers are not the YouTuber. Those numbers are the people who watch the YouTuber. YouTube is a very collaborative effort. And I could sit here and be like, yeah, you watch my shit. Give me them numbers. But no, seriously, thanks. That's super cool. Jack, you should get another tattoo. I actually have an appointment to get the tattoo on Tuesday that I forgot about. Because I was going to wait to get one when I move. But then I forgot that I already put my name down after I got this one touched up. Because I have this one that everyone knows about. And then, focus. But then it healed kind of poorly, so I went back in and she touched it up. A super nice lady who did it. So I got an appointment to get another one done on the 2nd of May because they were booked up until then. So I could go in. I'm planning on getting the Shadow of the Colossus glyph like here. So that'll be like my weak point. You're scowling again. God damn it! Should just get, you know those things? Ah, I poked myself in the eye! Ah! I can't be trusted with my own appendages anymore. Those things that people put in their mouth, that open up their mouth and constantly smile, I should get that from my eyebrows. So I'm just like this all the time. And then get one for my eyes and one for my teeth. So I'm always like... Rip in peace. I know, my fucking eye. Like Vernon's tattoo, yeah. Exactly like Vernon's tattoo. And I had the idea to get that before I actually met Vernon. And then he was like, oh yeah, I have that. And I was like, cool. When are you moving? In a couple of weeks. Like 2.5 weeks, I think. So fucking stressful, man. Trying to get everything organized, because it's not just making sure that all our stuff gets there. It's making sure that I have videos prepped and ready to go before we actually go. And then people come and collect all this shit. And then that's shipped over. And then I have to make sure I get over there and have enough videos prepped for when I'm there. So in case this stuff doesn't arrive. And then I also have to cut off all bills and utilities that are here. I have to change over so many things into a new address, into a new place. I have to get new utility bills when I'm over there. And because I have YouTube and I have a company and all that kind of stuff, I have to move a lot of shit in that regard. It's so stressful. There's so much to it. So like all the stuff you're seeing with the packing and everything, that's like a very tiny fraction of what actually needs to be done. Because it's not like I'm moving down the street, I'm moving an entire country. Thankfully, it's just to the UK, so it's not that bad. Jack, I look at you as a true role model. I think you're funny and your videos are hilarious. Do you have any tips for small YouTubers? Thank you. I feel like when you have enough people looking up to you or looking to you, not just looking up to you, but when enough eyeballs are on you, you kind of have a responsibility to use that in a positive way. I mean, you don't have to. Technically, you can do whatever the hell you want. Anybody can do whatever the hell they want. But I definitely felt like there was a big responsibility. Because not a lot of people have this type of voice that they can use. Not a lot of people are lucky enough to have this much sway over things, for lack of a better term. And this much influence over a thing. So I'd rather use it for a force for good. And speak for the people who can't be spoken for sometimes. And tips for smaller YouTubers. Work your ass off. If you really want to do YouTube, then really, really work at it. You don't always have to start off doing something super unique. If you can, it will help a lot. But if you look up to people, then maybe incorporate some of the things that they're doing. Because a lot of people will say, be unique, do you, and yeah, definitely do you, and put a lot of your own personality into it. But I mean, everyone kind of draws inspiration from the people they look up to when they start off something like this. If you draw art, you kind of copy some of the things that other artists do that you look up to. If you act, you kind of take on some of the acting traits that other people do. If you do YouTube, I certainly took on a lot of traits from people that I watched when I started off. So it's kind of unavoidable, but definitely try and put as much of your own personality into it, because then people who come on, if a lot of your personality is in your content, and if you're really honest in what you're doing and you're sharing your personality transparently, then the people that come on and stay will like you for you. And they won't be here because they like the type of commentary you do because it's like somebody else's or something like that. So if you're honest, then you'll have honest people who watch your content. And that's always been more admirable to me, because you can certainly just start off and say like 99% of people won't recognize this and have a clickbait title and thumbnail and start getting a load of subscribers that way. But the people who watch your content will kind of be hollow people, that they'll just be there because you're clickbaiting. And then, yeah, I don't know, if people want to do that, again, as I said, you can do anything you want. But for me personally, I'd always rather to do YouTube with the community aspect in mind. And people watch you for you. And if people, like, if your sense of humor comes across in your videos, or your sense of style or anything, and people latch onto that because they share the same interest in style and humor, then those are people that you're going to want to keep around. Because those are the people who will boost you in the right directions. And I think honesty and communication are a big thing. I always come back to three things, there's the Irish coming out, is... With me, it's always been interactivity, variety, and honesty. I think. Those would be the things that I kind of come to. Community kind of fits in there as well with the interactivity aspect of things. Those have always been huge pillars for me when I did my channel. Those are the ones I always fall back on. There's more stuff that fit within those umbrellas, but I think if you stick to those, that'll be a good thing, because you can start off doing one very specific thing. I don't know, let's say you happen upon a game, Minecraft. You like Minecraft and you do it a lot, and that's like your main go-to. If you rely on it too much, you might get a lot of followers, you might love it, and it's all great, but after a while that will get tiring. Nobody can do the exact same thing forever on YouTube, and it's breaking away from that. That'll be the hardest thing to do, because you'll feel like your audience are abandoning you. You'll feel like you're betraying them, even though it's the best thing for you to branch away from one specific thing to keep your channel healthy and to keep your mental health going in a good direction. So getting that variety early on is a very big factor, I think. I always had a lot of variety when I started off the channel. And when I got the shout out, I was doing a lot. I was doing like 2 GTA 5 videos a day for like a week. Then the shout out happened. I was like, okay, I can't do that, because that'll get super boring for people. And I was just running out of ideas. And I could have just kept doing that, but then you'd get a very one specific type of audience. And I've always been a big advocate for people liking me for me. Half, kind of, some for the game, some for me. If people just come for the game, then they'll turn on you immediately when you stop doing that game. If they come for you, then there's a bit more understanding there, and there's a lot more respect if people come for you as a person. They'll understand when things go wrong, because things will go wrong. And that's what I'm hoping will happen when I have to move, if I have to cut down on videos a small bit, just to make sure that mentally I'm well set to move. It's the same when tour stuff is happening. Because there's some other big stuff happening later in the year that I can't talk about yet. And it's a really big deal for me. And I really want to make sure that it's done right. And these are things that are going to create some outstanding memories for me. And some really outstanding, like, life-forming, personality-forming experiences. These are going to be, like, life-molding experiences for me. And I want to make sure that they're done right. And I'm not stressing myself out over them. Not to say that I'm going to abandon you guys. I'd never do that. I just want to try and find the happy middle ground. Do you pay Robin to edit, or is it just him helping you? Of course I pay Robin to edit for me. He edits like 2 videos a day for me, every day. I couldn't possibly ask him to do that without any sort of recoupment. It's always funny. It's like when people ask if I get paid to do YouTube. It's like, yeah, of course I do. There's no way I could dedicate this much time to doing YouTube or do 1 AM streams if I didn't get paid to do it. Not to say I wouldn't if I didn't. It's just that because YouTube is my sole revenue, that I can dedicate so much more time to it. God damn it, clickbait. It doesn't tell me when these messages were sent, so I don't know if that's in reference to what I said, or if you're saying I'm clickbaiting. Jack, thank you so much for making me smile every day. I suffer from anxiety and depression, and your videos always make my day. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. That's super sweet of you to say. And I'm glad I can help in any way I can. Can you show us your play button? Well, I showed them in videos before. One of them's on the shelf back there. You can kind of see it. It's like right at the bottom. It's here. The other one is on the shelf behind me. The diamond one is just sitting in its box there. And then the gold one is over in this like closet area over here. The gold one is fucking obnoxious. I mean, it's super cool, but it's huge. And it weighs a ton. What is the clock in Ireland? I think you mean what is the time in Ireland. It's 2:40 AM right now, which is super late. So we're probably gonna have to wrap this up soon-ish. Even though I'm not. I'm having fun and I don't want to. You were the brightest in my eyes. I knew the reason why I made a... You were the brightest in my eyes. I knew the reason why I made a YouTube channel. This will help me in life. And you were a little cunt. Yeah, cute little cunt, yeah. That's funny. Not meant in an offensive way at all, by the way, for everyone who's going to react to that. Minimalistic or complicated tattoos? I am minimalism all the way. In so many aspects of my life, I love minimalism. I like just simple line art tattoos. I don't even really want to get any tattoos that have color in them. I love really, like, clean line art tattoos. They're just, oh. When the line art just right. Well, Jack, technically everyone does YouTube for the money, but you do have good intentions, don't get me wrong. But you do have to pay things, and the most efficient way to do that is a job. Job equals money. Yeah, technically, yes, we all do it for money, because rent does need to be paid. Food does need to be bought. I do need to survive and live. It's when money is your sole, like, reason for doing something that muddies things a small bit. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome that I get to be paid to be able to do YouTube, because it's the most fun thing I've ever done with my life. And I'm so lucky that I get to do it, and it's so awesome to be able to do that and sit down and be able to play video games and talk to you guys. I'm very privileged in that regard. So it's super cool. But the money aspect of it is just a very nice, happy thing. Like, my hobby turned into my job. And that's awesome. But it would never be, like, the sole reason I do things. Because then I'd start doing it in a really weird way. I'd start making really bad decisions on YouTube if I did it for the money. Wow, chat just like fucking exploded all of a sudden. I thought that too, Jack, but tattoos are addictive. You may want to go bigger, bolder, vibrant tattoos. People keep saying that, and I don't know, I didn't get the addiction aspect of things yet. I don't think it's going to affect me that much. People also said smoking, once you start smoking, you'll never stop. And I tried smoking one time, and it was fucking disgusting, and I'll never do it ever again. So, I guess that didn't really work. I guess I just don't follow your rules, society. People freaked out about that as well. When I said that I tried smoking. People were like, oh my god, Jack smoked? It's like, I didn't habitually smoke. I like tried it once or twice when I was drunk and I was 18. Like stupidly trying it, and it made me super lightheaded and I vomited and I didn't like it at all, and I'm not going to do it again, ever. It's not like I started smoking for like a month or anything like that. How are you still alive? It's been so long. Yeah, it's been like an hour and a half. It's been cool, man. It's been fun. I like it. I like it a lot. Who's your favorite character from Rick and Morty? Probably just Rick. Rick or the Meeseeks. Meeseeks are awesome. I hope they come back in season 3. I think they will. Because they didn't bring them back for season 2. And then everyone was kind of disappointed that they weren't back. So I think there's enough demand there to bring them back just for a little fun thing. They could even just do them in... Because Rick and Morty do the cable... The multiverse cable TV show episodes. So it'd be fun if they did like a Meeseeks show in the middle of that somewhere. If they don't want to put them in the main storyline. Not that you need any approval on it, but so approved the facial hair choice. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Somebody earlier, like, wrote down something saying, Jack, I think I regret you shaving because it looks gross. I'm like, well, thanks. It's like, those are the types of things that you keep to yourself. It's like, I did this thing. It's not like I could just suddenly change it all of a sudden. And then somebody telling you it looks gross is kind of like, well, what's your end goal here? Are you just trying to make me feel bad? But thank you. I like it too. I mean, I did like the little chin strap that was going on. Because it did frame my face. And it did look nice. But when you look at it super up close, it wasn't like super thick hair. And I think it looked kind of weird. And then this side was all patchy, so it didn't look as nice. And it wasn't as thick as this is. So I'm going to wait for this to, like, balance out. Because this is just suddenly starting to reach and connect. So I let this grow out a bit thicker. And then decide what to do from there. I don't know, it's just facial hair. It doesn't change anyone's life in any way, shape, or form. It's just something to look at. Are you watching Attack on Titan Season 2? Oh! New episode came out today. I forgot. I want to watch that before I go to bed. And yes, I am. I'm all caught up. Except for the one today. I don't think the new season's that good. Well, it's also because as I've said many times, I've read the manga already, so I know what's happening. So nothing's really a surprise. And I don't know how big an impact these surprises are to people who are just watching the anime now. So I can't really judge it fairly. But to me, it's just a lot of plotting. It's a lot of, like, nothing happening. It's a lot of building up stuff that's about to happen, and then the episodes end. It's like, come on, just show the fucking thing. Which is Attack on Titan's biggest flaw, I think. Well, a lot of animes do that. But there's just a lot of stuff that can be cut out of Attack on Titan or shortened down, and some stuff can even just be cut out entirely. Some things are doing like one-to-one with the manga, and it's like, This doesn't even need to be in there. Jack, can you do Astroneer again? I want to do Astroneer again with Robin at some point, because we had a fun series with that, but I want to make sure that they update the game a lot before we go back to it. Because I'd like to do, like, another 5 episodes or something. And if we get in and, like, they've updated some things, but it seems a lot of stuff is kind of cosmetic, or stuff is just easier to use now. Like, they changed the land terrain tool to be a little more easier to use, but it doesn't really change the overall game. So I want to make sure that when we go back to it, it's a lot better. Well, not better, but there's just a lot more to it. If you get me. So we can do like a bunch of episodes and not run into the same problem where we ran out of things to do. Will you ever play Minecraft again? I probably not, sorry. Minecraft's not my thing. I enjoy games like Minecraft, and I enjoyed Minecraft when it came out. Now Minecraft's just so huge. It's almost intimidating to play, and I don't have that desire to even go near it. What do you say to the young gays? Hang in there, man. Because, well, I don't really know what you mean by young gays. But if there's anybody out there, it's a scary world to be in if you're gay. And I empathize with that. So, hang in there. And I hope that you're happy, and I hope that you find happiness. And I hope that life and the world isn't too cruel to you. Because I can't even imagine what it's like. Because, like, growing up as a young person, teenagehood and everything, it's hard enough when society isn't against you all that much. But if you face any sort of racial or sexual sort of like backlash or like force back against you, that's a very hard thing to go through. So just hang in there. Better days are ahead. And a lot of people say that and it sounds like bullshit, but they really are. It's also cool to see society becoming more accepting of that thing. Like even younger generations now. There's still a lot of, like, people who react like, there's probably some people right now who heard me give some support to gay people and are like, ugh, gross, ew, no, stop. And I'm sure some people are throwing around some slurs somewhere here and there. That's a sad side effect of humanity. But it is cool to see so many more people being more accepting of just racial issues and sexual issues, gender issues. It's cool. We've a long way to go, but it's nice to see the world be more accepting and more inclusive. And we're starting to see more video games, more TV shows, more movies and everything incorporate these things in. Very nice. Call of Duty World War II trailer, Jack. Ooh. The last few Call of Duties I've rolled my eyes at, but this one is really looking good. And I say that with a bit of trepidation for fear of egg on my face when it comes out, and it might be shit. But man, if they treat it the way they treated their older games, it could be really good. I'm excited for a Call of Duty game. What is this? Do you ever feel that some shows go on for too long? 90% of shows go on for too long. Because once a show starts making money, that's when it starts going on too long. That's why I like stuff like Gravity Falls. Because Alex Hirsch Could have made 5 more seasons of that and made bank. But no, he felt like it was running its course and he stopped it after 2 seasons, and I hugely respect that. Takes a lot of balls to do something like that. Love you, Jack, but not in a gay way. Oh man. Am I not good enough? I mean, we're all a little gay. Come on, man. It's okay. You don't have to say that you're gonna go out with me, but I mean, I just watched Guardians of the Galaxy and I have no problem saying that Chris Pratt is a super fucking hunkalicious babe man. I'm a little gay for Chris Pratt. Hell yeah, I am. Do you know how to basic? I don't actually. And I met a lot of the people in his friend circle at VidCon, and they said he was at VidCon, and I probably seen him walk around and everything, or maybe they were just shitting on me, or maybe they were just like trying to pull my leg. Maybe he wasn't there at all, but I don't know. I kind of like that I don't know. I love you, Jack, in a totally gay way. There we go. Thanks, man. Who isn't a little gay for Chris Pratt? He's awesome. I mean, I know, right? I'm a little gay for Chris Pratt looking at him. I'm super gay for Chris Pratt's personality. I'm eating cold chicken nuggets. I'm hungry, okay? Hey, I'm not gonna judge, but hopefully you have some sick Szechuan sauce to go with that. I need that Szechuan sauce. 9 more seasons. I love how you support everything, Jack. You are so nice, and I'd love to meet you. You probably won't read this. Haha! But I don't mind. I'm happy enough knowing I have you to go to. Thank you for always being there. That's super nice. Thank you. That's adorable. I appreciate that. And yeah, why not support everything? Well, of course I don't support the bad things. I think we could all do with being a bit more open-minded, a bit more accepting, because I wasn't always that way. I was once very close-minded. So I'm learning. I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to grow, and I'm trying to be more accepting and more inclusive of things. Jack, is your hair turning yellow? Sure is. I haven't had it dyed for like 6 weeks now. Actually, I can't remember. Go back and look at my last Instagram post with... I'm gonna fucking do that myself. Because I'm curious. When was the last time I actually got my hair dyed? Because I uploaded a picture of it when I dyed it on Instagram. God, it was a fucking while ago. Jesus. That or I post too many pictures. There it is. 14 weeks ago. What? Holy fuck. Really? 14 weeks ago I got my hair dyed. Yeah, oh. The fact that it has any sort of color in it at all is amazing. Where did I get it dyed since then? I don't think I have. Man, that's mad. I don't know. I'm debating whether to get it dyed again or not, or just let it go. Okay, it's almost 3 a.m., so I'm gonna end this soon. I'm just gonna go through and see some more questions. So if you have any questions, get them in now. Get them in. Just strain is leaving. Are you growing a beard like Jesus? I fucking wish. I would love a beard like Jesus. Do you plan on doing any kind of moving video? No. I'm going to make sure that the move goes as smoothly and as stress-free as possible, so I'm going to make sure that all my focus is on the actual move. instead of worrying about doing a video out of it. What is your most embarrassing moment? Okay, I've talked about this before, but I used to be an altar boy when I was like really young, because it was a way of going to church without having to sit and be bored. So I actually got to do something. So I'd be up on the altar and there was 4 of us there, and then the collection plate had to go around for people to donate money, and the collection plates were over on like the baptismal font that was there, and the priest told me to go over and get it and like hand it over so people could spread it around to get the money going around. So I stood up and I had no idea where they were, the collection plates. So I was like looking around, and it was like 200 people in this church looking at me, giggling, and the other altar people were kind of giggling at me. The priest was too busy like getting ready for a communion, and I had no idea what to do, so I just went over and knelt back down again. Like I probably looked like a fucking tomato. And then I went over, and my my now sister's father-in-law went up and like showed me where they were, and he let me get them. He didn't go up and get them, which was very nice. He could have just gone up and grabbed them and went around with them, but he went up and showed me where they were, and then I got them, so I got some sort of retribution out of it. But as a young boy, for it to have that happen, crushing. Soul crushing. But funny as fuck to tell now. Any more full gameplay series? There will always be full gameplay series going on. I have to get back into Paradigm soon when I have more time to record it again. Outlast kind of took a lot of my focus. So I'll get back into Paradigm soon. Because I think there's only like 1 episode left of Paradigm. Oh, Paradigm. I thought this was a coffee party. Nah. Sadly, it's too late for coffee. I do need to sleep eventually. I know, fuck, it sucks, right? Stupid human body. Do-do-do. Nice snazzy jazz music, thank you. This is my go-to, like, chill music now. Okay. Last question. We're gonna have to make it a good one, even though I put too much pressure on myself to do that. Szechuan sauce or Chris Pratt? Huh. Put those two together. Szechuan sauce on Chris Pratt. Chris Preshwan. Okay. And that does it, and the music just ended. How perfect is that? I'm gonna end the stream here. It's been an absolute blast hanging out with you guys. I actually stayed on longer than I was supposed to. It's 3 a.m. here now. So I'm just going to go back, maybe watch some Attack on Titan, chill out, and go to bed. It's been super fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I know I missed last week's stream, but that's because Ethan was streaming Overwatch for charity, so I joined that. And then I didn't have much time outside of that to be able to do anything. But these streams are super fun. I like them. I like being able to talk and chat and just get thoughts out there and reconnect with you guys and just, I don't know, chill out and hang out and share an evening with you all. Absolute blast. I love these. How many people are still here? I need to check. 13,000 people still here. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. That's awesome. I'm going to end the stream by encouraging you guys to go to Mark's channel and watching his stream, because they are streaming for charity. How many donations have they actually gotten so far? I don't even know if I can check that. I don't know. What's their total? Oh, 41,000. Holy fucking balls. That's crazy. So go watch Tyler, Amy, Mark, Ethan, and Catherine all stream right now. I don't know what game they're actually playing. What game are they playing? I don't know. It looks like a Jackbox kind of thing. Is that Use Your Words? Because I brought that to people's attention when we were going to group record. That's a fun game. But we can't really record. It's like a group thing. I don't know. Might not be that game at all. Anyway, yes. Go watch them stream and donate if you can. And help them out. And if you can't donate, then spread the stream around and be nice people and treat them well and be good things. Yeah, cool. All right. Thanks, guys. It's been fun. I'll be back soon.
You may never know when.
I don't know. Okay, bye.